I'm going to make a little video here of as many of my sprinklers as I can get. Honestly, it's probably going to be an impossibility to get it all in one video if I pause in between, because I'll end up forgetting something somewhere. You can kind of get a good idea what you're looking at here, hopefully. Let's see, I'm gonna now dip down. I get these are just laying here conveniently. That's a Thompson, kind of unique. These are just kind of some spare, extras. I got extra sprinklers, man, extras. The warbler, a bit of warbler here. It's pretty beat. It's missing a trip completely. The diffuser does not diffuse, so that's why there's a stick in there from a long time ago. Cute little square spray that I've had since I was probably 10 years old. Helicopter. Some new old stock Nelson spike-based sprinklers. These were new old stock-ish. More triple sprays, some Orbit triple sprays underneath that. I don't recall what brand those are, but I only had 2 of them. One Nelson adjustable. I saw these. I just had to have some of these because I thought, man, those are pretty neat. Unfortunately, the larger, I got 2 sizes, and the larger size did not come with nozzles, and I have no idea how to source nozzles for those. There's a hose on. Actually, there's 2 hose on siphon, fertilizer siphon things. This is a Nelson. I've owned this one in particular since I was probably 15, 16 years old, just to take a guess. Yeah, that's a relic right there. Because that would have been in the late 90s. Let's see here. We've got a large size Nelson, some gardenia sprinklers that I just had to have because they were kind of cool. I've got a Blackbird on this wheelie stand. I got a alpha beta 2 there on this one here is one I've had around for most of my life. That was a teenager thing. There's another one on the wall just like it. 40, a Nelson, dual nozzle, something or another. Not sure exactly. Sorry, very loud, I'm sure. Nelson, Rainbird, another gardenia. And then we have a old Gilmore extra large impact sprinkler on a really funky base. There's a couple of oscillators back there. I got a couple 100-foot of this Andrews soaker hose. That's a rain train shutoff. I've got several of those. Let me turn around here. That one's not in good condition. We've got some bunch of shrub heads. We've got this is a hydrozoner from back in the 90s. I bought this. If you have it on an automatic valve, you turn the valve on the first time and it runs one side, the valve shuts off, and then when the valve turns on the next time, it opens the other valve. In theory, it works about 25% of the time, maybe. A couple of 40s here, a 30, a Rainer 860, a couple of cheesy Gilmore heads, Orbit Jet, dual nozzle, a pile of Maxi Birds, I guess you call them now. Some new, some well used. Nan, Orbit Nan. I'm sure this sounds like I'm just hammering things here. Yeah, that was one of those deals I bought. I wanted one, but it came in a lot of 4. Okay, well, I think I'm done in here. On to the next room. Okay, we're indoors now. Like that. Yeah, we have the Ott. And then the Water Devil. Come here. Lawn Boy cutaway engine. Everything's, you can see the cylinder. Anyway. Now, we got Thompson Travelers, Keys Crawler with the extra weights. Brand new Milner in both colors. And a Craftsman. We got a Buckner controller, an old Lawn Genie controller. Now we're getting into some big sprinklers. Now we're getting into what is it? I don't remember. It's a Buckner. Another Buckner. We got all those. I think that's a 30, 31, 37. I don't remember. I need to get rid of these big Royal coaches. Don't need them. Kind of just a collection of boxes and things. Skipping back, I kind of got onto the canned impacts there. A couple Rainbird Travelers that are kind of neat, but I had to have both because they came in both colors. Just some random controllers, a couple safety lawns hanging out here, some miniature riders, a couple Everrain, and a Milner hose reel sprinklers. What an idea that was. We've got a little of everything here. I'm just going to kind of scroll over instead of trying to point out every single little thing unless it's something really spectacular. This has got the plastic, like Blackbird style head in it. Yeah. This was one of the first sprinklers I ever purchased as a kid. I was probably 13, 14 years old. Bought a pair of those at the local hardware store, and like 4 months later, a horrendous hailstorm came through at my grandparents' place where they were at, outside, and it literally destroyed them. It just broke them apart into pieces. The hail ripped the siding off the house. It stripped the trees bare on one side. It was insane. But I lost my sprinklers. And finally, I found the exact ones on eBay, just not about a year ago. And was able to replace them in my life. The Whale. I got the Sherman Water Wagon. Actually, there's 2 of them. There's this one here, and then there's actually the one in the box is new. Got 3 of these, and as far as I'm aware, they all function. I'm not sure if that one functions or not. I don't remember if I ever had it running. I remember taking it apart when I found it and doing some investigating and whatnot, but that was 10 years ago. And lots happened since then. So anyway, yeah. I'm just trying to ease along here. This is going to be an absolutely ridiculously long video, obviously. And there's going to be about 3 people in the universe that are going to be interested in seeing it. But if you're that person, then I guess you'll love it. Where am I at here? I need to go down. We got a bunch of Gates products. And I do have more Gates stuff. There was one out in the garage. There's another one out behind the shop. There's, yeah, lots more Gates. Some new old stock Thompson spray heads. And, yeah, hose end sprinklers, kind of my thing, obviously. And, residential irrigation stuff, especially from the, 70s and 80s. Early 90s. So I'm not nostalgic for the R50s yet, but you know, in 10 years, maybe I'll be like, oh, I miss the old R50 rattle. But yeah, I'm just trying to cover everything. All right, I think I am done inside my museum here, and a lot of the pieces that were in the museum, quote unquote museum, I have kind of put into use here recently. So next location, we're going to catch a few here live in action. A Milner that I just recently acquired, another one that I had never had my hands on before until now. Here's another Milner from my youth. I remember a neighbor that had one of these, and then by the time I tried to go buy one for myself, Milner had changed their design and went with a different brand or a different company to make their sprinklers, and they weren't the same. I was sad, but I finally have one. And here we have two Milners, plastic impacts in operation. Another recent acquisition, hence why they're being used now. And we get a Rainbird Blackbird, heart-shaped base. Whoa, motion sickness. And then we got a Rainbird Blackbird on a Rainbird high spike. I guess I'm going to record them all. We'll catch these two. Triple sprays, Nelson's. That is a Hartman Manufacturing Company, supply company from Hutchinson, Kansas, where I'm currently standing. That's a big boy, and I've got like 4 of those. Over here we got rain jets, small rain jets, 35s. 2 of those over here. Yet another plastic Milner. This one I've had for 5 or 6 years, and it just kind of sat in there on the shelf in the museum, never getting used. And I'm like, well, that's dumb. So here it is. Standing here in the backyard, got another Blackbird running, and that's on those green sled bases. And then we just kind of have some miscellaneous. Another one of these. And yeah, I got 2 of those. One's brand new. Let's see here. Oh, another one of those 2. All right, I think that's about everything here. Let's go to the next location. All right, I'm back. You ready to kind of start questioning my sanity? Because this box, that is my 35 on the roller base. That is fairly rare. Got some miscellaneous on some spike bases here. Another rain train. A couple of rain jets. The other one is in here somewhere. It's eluding my eyeballs at the moment for some reason. And then we have this box. And this box, just another roller base. Another roller base. I think I have 4 of these, 3 of these. Another Gates, Rainbird, kind of a cool aluminum base. I got 4 of these 35 PJs. A couple does. Yeah, these are kind of the ones that I was, told myself I would be using the most frequently. And then I went and bought some more sprinklers, and then also took some out that had been sitting in my collection and brought them out. So now I got an overabundance. Back soon. Surprise. Thompson triple sprays. Alright, at the shop. Out front, that's my 1-inch quick coupler with my 1-inch garden hose to run my big sprinklers. Let's see here. I don't know why the screen is so dark. Is it dark for everyone or is it just me? I don't know. The rain train. I bought that rain train at a garage sale in my neighborhood when I was probably 14, 13 maybe. It was pre-driving because I was carrying it around on my bicycle. So, yeah. More Andrews soaker hose. I'm kind of looking around, make sure there's no sprinklers in. Yeah, like that. Turn around. There's my 808 turf bird. And yes, I had to. It's on a 1-inch pipe base. That's fairly decent sized, but the sprinkler is way bigger than that base, and it had enough torque that I had to add that 10 pound weight plate to it. That helped. Over here, just randomly laying around to go back in the house, is a Spraylo, Skinner Spraylo, and this little jewel here. It's a rocket of some sort, but I was going to use it and I never did. I snagged that on eBay fairly cheap, and I've seen those sell just like this for like $80, $90 before. So I don't know. These laying here are kind of the extras that I didn't use today. Let's see here. Oh, there's a 300 Toro that does not rotate anymore. Jump right back into it here. 65 PJ and Buckner that I have these set up to go on that big base. I guess I can just scoot right over here. I got like 4 low angle R50s hanging out there. A couple Ryzen Reigns, those are the 2 that I got working and everything. Got some just parts, heads and whatnot. These are all uncleaned Rainbirds that I can steal 9/64 nozzles out of. I cleaned that parts washer. They were brand new, but they had been sitting in a garage for probably 30 years, and they were packed full of wasp nests and yeah, nasty. There's my other range jet. And then that. Oh goodness. Let's see. Pause. All right, we're upstairs in my shop. These are some of the impacts that I kind of had that were questionable. May or may not use in the yard. I don't know if I want to install a Superjet because I know I'm going to have to dig up that Superjet probably 3 years down the road and replace it. But yeah, these are the heads that are in my yard. Well, that were in my yard. Hunter I-20 6-inch pop-ups. They're really nice. And back when I bought them, they weren't terribly expensive, but they were still about double the price of a 5004, say, for example. Anyway, this is just kind of my stock of sprinklers for, actual work use. I do have 47s, and hello, throw the phone. I had, obviously, a case of 4, and I think somebody bought one from me because I have one in the house, this one, and that one in the box, and I haven't found a 4th one around here. Since then, it's just kind of spare stuff, parts, pipe fittings, miscellaneous. Oh yeah, I do have a whole box. Like 10, 15 years ago, I was on eBay and a guy was selling. Normally these were ridiculously priced, and the guy had to buy it now on however many it is, like 8 of them, of like $100 or something. And I'm like, okay. And I said, I'm going to use those someday. And here they sit. Well, I also have a bunch more PJ Rainbirds. those have been kind of picked apart a little bit. These here have all been clean tested, and then some need reassembly. But thankfully, for the Rainbirds at least, I have quite a plethora of pop-up risers, so that makes a big difference in being able to keep those in use. Yeah, a bunch of Nelsons. I just had to have those about 5 or 6 years ago and bought like 4 of them off eBay at once, and there they sit. They rotate extremely slowly. But anyhow, oh, I even have a box. I've actually used 2 of them. One of them I've removed already because it quit working. But yeah, other than some miscellaneous quick couplers I was going to install in the yard some point in time in my life, parts valves, more valves, and probably $500 worth of nozzles. And I don't really do that much irrigation work. I could, but I'm kind of lazy. I'd rather play with my sprinklers at my own house. I swear this video is almost over, but I forgot I have a couple Nelson oscillators. Let's see here. I rebuilt this one because it was wore out, and it's actually of the age of the era that has everything is replaceable, and I have the parts kit, so I rebuilt it. And then when I fired it up, I found out that the water was just hemorrhaging out of here and hemorrhaging out of the seal on the bottom, and obviously not a huge priority to tear it apart and get it working, because this one here works like it was brand new. As far as I know, in this 22-minute and 12-second video at this point, I think I have gone over every sprinkler that I own, at least 95% of them. There's probably more hidden around here, and obviously all the ones in the ground in the yard and yada yada yada, but you get the point. I have more sprinklers than any one person should ever have. It's an addiction, I guess. And I problem is I'm running out of sprinklers. It's like I've got them all. It's like I've got every sprinkler that I've ever thought I ever wanted in my life. So I guess I'm done. I don't know. I need to get rid of a bunch of them that I don't ever use. I kind of need to pare the collection down because it really doesn't make any sense. But the problem is, who's buying them? How big is the market? It was me and 3 people, I think, in the world. So who knows? I might try to sell some this winter. And pop back in, say goodbye with an old Vision 2 controller I removed the other day from my house. And the old lady was very, very upset that I couldn't fix the clock on this one to make it work again. It's like, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. It's not like there's parts for these. But anyway, I digress. I'm going off on a tangent again. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed an entire slew of sprinklers that I own, let me know. You know, maybe somebody will appreciate this. You know, it's just sprinklers from when I was a kid that just left a lasting impression in my brain, and it's like, well, now I gotta have them. And here we are.